Hey guys, it's Jimmy, and we're back with another Fire Emblem Heroes summoning session. As promised, we will be going back into the Rearmed Robin and Ascended Air banner, going for merges on Rearmed Robin. I've got 351 orbs, but before we get started, I think I have a free... Yep, we'll do a free summon over here. What colors are we going to get? Let's go green. I really like Henry. So in this question, I already stuffed up. In this video, I will be answering questions submitted by you guys on YouTube and on Twitter. We got Echidna as our free summon on the Halloween banner. And I'm not doing them in any particular order. I am just doing them in the order that YouTube has given them to me and Twitter has given them to me. And we'll be doing YouTube first. So without further ado, let's jump right in. We are going to pull on green because I would love extra copies of Mystic Boost 4. There's the smoke. And it's just Bowie. Okay. First question comes from Bastion, and they say, or they ask, dream ult of any of your characters. Like if you could pick the seasonal ult plus everything for said unit. So I guess just like a dream unit in general. For me, that would be Christmas Caspar. I really want a Christmas Caspar because I really want an armored Caspar, and the best chance of him getting that would be on Christmas, since they're usually all armored. I want him to be a sword, preferably, but I'll take any weapon. And I want him to be a D-mode again, because I feel like he's not popular enough to be a good unit. So that's my dream. That is my dream character, is a Christmas Caspar. Next question from Connor, and Connor asks, a pattern... Oh, this is a big one. Hold on, I gotta expand it. Jeez. A pattern I've noticed with Fae is that they release two new unit types that are similar to each other before moving on to something else. For example, Ascended and Rearmed heroes both appear in the new heroes banner and provide a benefit in the form of further customizing a unit of your choice. If Ice keeps this up and we get a new gimmick next year, what would you want this new gimmick to look like? So that's super easy. I want a gimmick that gives you free merges. So it works basically the same as Ascended Hero, where you get an item, and that item adds a merge to any character that you like. But it's like once per time you summon that character, the same as an Ascended Floret. And not like a Rearmed Hero where you can use that same Rearmed Hero over and over again as long as you keep summoning them, because that's way too OP, especially for merges. And you know, my first 10 would go straight to Alphonse, and then probably the next 20 after that would go into Shorina and Anna. Then I never have to worry about arena bonus ever again. But that's what I feel like is next, and that's what I want to be next. Because like if they're not going to give us any way to merge the Asuka trio, then with like actual copies of them specifically, then they need to give us a way to merge the Asuka trio without copies of them specifically. And I feel like that's the next thing, because I feel like Nintendo's been slowing down on gacha a little bit. Oh, we're gonna get Ascended Air. Cool. Very nice. Mine was neutral from Spark. Minus speed plus defense. Fodder. Okay. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so I feel like Nintendo's been slowing down on gacha a little bit lately. They've been, like Mario Kart Tour no longer has gacha in it. You just buy the characters that you want with the gems, instead of like pulling for them on banners. Dragalia Lost is dying. Dr. Mario's gone. Like, they seem to be really pulling out on gacha as a whole. They've kept Fire Emblem Heroes probably because it just makes them a shit ton of money. Like, I think they made $1 billion as of this year, and like, why would you stop that? But I feel like they're slowing down, and I feel like they have been taking steps in all of their games to be like, okay, obviously we still want to have a game that is, you know, addictive and people spend money because we are a corporation, but we don't want to be seen as an evil corporation, so we are going to make steps to make it a bit more nicer. So I feel like the next thing that they'll do is they'll finally add a way to get merges without pulling for that hero. And it doesn't really break the game that much, because like in our year, you can only get 12 mergers because there's 12 chapters. Sorry, there's 13 chapters, so you can get 13 mergers, assuming that every single banner has this like extra hero type that grants a merge. So it's not too OP in my opinion. The next comment is from GatorJib, and they ask, what are your thoughts on Rearmed Robin, who I'm pulling for? Any recommendations for who should inherit Arcane Grima? They also have a second question, so I'll answer that one first. So the first question was about Grima. I'm a huge fan of Grima. As much as I love Lucina, I also love Grima. Like, I just love both of those characters equally. I'm as much an Exalt fanboy as I am a Grimleal. If I could, I would get tattoos of both. That's how much I want them printed on my body. That's how much I love both of these, like, warring factions, if you will. So I think that she's super strong. I'm a little bit salty that she's like entirely power crept Halloween Male Grima, who I literally plus 10'd 4 days before she was announced. So, you know, a little salty. But I love Grima either gender anyway, so, you know, that's why I'm pulling for her now. As for who to recommend to give to Arcane Grima, any dragon that doesn't have a perf that's like modern, and when I say modern I mean like 2021 plus. Any dragon that's got like, just honestly, if they aren't like an armored dragon, most of the other dragons that are old definitely deserve it. I've already given mine to my Halloween Male Grima, my one copy from the previous video, and he's doing really well with it. I've been using him in Ether Raids. He is a far saver there. I also have a close save build on him, but for Ether Raids offense, he is far saving. And he's been doing pretty good. So if you've got him, definitely give it to him. And Deginsia. Oh, nice. Speaking of, we're gonna get her. Very cool. Very slay. Thank you very much. Minus speed plus defense. That's fine. We've got plus attack on ours. But yeah, so Halloween Deginsia and Halloween Male Grima, definitely like top 2 to give it to. Anyone else? I forgot to turn off my notifications. You're gonna see on my Uber. I wanted a pizza before this. So I'm gonna take a quick break while I turn off my notifications, and we'll be right back. And we're back. I had to also clean up my barracks a little bit. I checked and I was almost out, so that's good. The second half of Gator Jib's question was also, if a Gauntlets or Fighting class isn't introduced by then, I'm not sure when by then is, I guess it refers to the second half of the question, which is, what weapon type do you think Caspar will be when he's in the game as a non-seasonal unit? So the question is, by the time Caspar gets added in at base, what weapon do you think he'll be if they aren't Gauntlets? And I'm going to say Axe. Like, he's definitely going to be an Axe, because he's only got proficiencies in Axes and Brawling, as far as I'm aware, in 3 houses, so I'm pretty sure he's going to be an Axe. But the fact that Brawling is returning in some form in Engage leads me to believe that they will introduce Gauntlets before Engage comes out. Probably, I would even say, maybe on the first. No, they couldn't do 3 houses banners so close to each other. So we just had the one with the 2 chaises. I was thinking they could do it as like the first banner of book 7, and have Gauntlets introduced then, because that would be in like December, and then by the time Engage comes out in January, and we're gonna get Flying HINOKA, or not Flying HINOKA, Bow HINOKA. Very cool. Her refine's good. I don't know if I have a refined one though. But yeah, I was thinking just now, if they introduced it as the first banner of book 7, then by the time Engage comes out in January, they'd be able to add like From, because From is already a brawler slash healer, and I really don't want them to just be like healer, like infantry staff demo on a brand new character. I would rather them be some sort of brawler. But to answer the question again, Axe, definitely Axe. I don't see him being anything else other than Axe, and they'll probably give him like a shitty seasonal Axe. You know what? They might even give him Victor Fish as a regular Axe, just to punch me in the nuts. Next question is from True Hero, and they ask, how do you feel about Sharena and Asuka as characters? And I'm not sure if that's supposed to be like Sharena and Alphonse, but I'll answer for Alphonse, Sharena, and Asuka. So Alphonse is my top 2 boy. Just like CYL, I split my favorites between males and females. And my top 2 men are Casper and Alphonse, and my top 2 women are Hilda and Lucina. So he's my second favorite. At the beginning of the game, I didn't really care for him because I wasn't really reading the story. When the game came out, I'd only played Awakening and Fates, and I like wasn't into Fire Emblem that much. I just thought it was like cool and fun, and I enjoyed playing it, but I wasn't like into it. But as the years have gone by and I've become incredibly invested, and I've like gone back and actually read the story for this game, which is good, by the way. It's not fantastic. It could be better, but it's not. It's decent. The main problem I think most people have with it is that it's so spaced out. But if you honestly like sit down, if you take the time to sit down and just like read through all the story, it's actually not that bad. Oh my gosh, this guy again? I got him recently. I don't remember when I got him, but I got him recently. Plus attack August. That's fine, I guess. I mean, it breaks my pity, but them's the breaks sometimes. How do I feel about Sharena? Less likable than Alphonse to me, in my opinion. She kind of gets like an annoying rap because of how she acts at the beginning of the game when you open it specifically, and she's like Fire Emblem Heroes, and it's just so loud and obnoxious, and everyone else is like very much toned down. But she's okay. I really liked what they did with her in Book 4 when she was having the identity crisis, because she thought that she was Peony and that she actually was not the royal that she thought she was. I thought that was really interesting. But now she's just kind of like fallen to the wayside again. She has some cute moments with Veronica in the story where she's like caring for her like a little sister. But everyone does that to Veronica, so Sharena doesn't really get anything extra special out of it. And then how do I feel about Asuka? Hot Dad Cow. Next question. He's incredibly... What a design. Kazaki Yusuke knocking it out of the park. He's just so hot. Like, he is unapologetically sexy. That was... I didn't even say that correctly. But he's just so... He's great. I'm not obsessed. I'm just like... I look at his design and I'm like... Damn. They really said... Dilf's in my area. And then I pulled for him. But as a unit, he's also incredible too. I didn't really talk about Alphonse and Sharena's units because they're terrible Gen 1 units with crap refines and no merges. But Asuka as a unit, he's so great. He's on my main Caspar team because I swapped from running Shield Pulse. So I needed 2 sources of Infantry Pulse, or like any Pulse. So I've been using Fallen Ninian, who has more HP than Caspar, and then Asuka to get the double Pulse, so that his godlike reflexes reaches 0, and he can loop it. So yeah, he's so great. I'm so sad that he died. He didn't really get that much screen time. But also, I don't know what they're going to do with like ascending Alphonse now, because he's gone, and he would be the one to grant the power. Unless Ash, like, not ascends, but like takes the place of Asuka, and then she ascends him instead. Because she can't ascend. She's already godlike. The next question is from Kerwin Lay, and they say, hello, what are some older units that you're looking forward to revitalize with an arcane weapon? Older units. I don't really use the older units. Like, the oldest unit I use is probably literally day one Lucina, and she does not need an arcane weapon because she has 2 Falchion Refines, and one of them was good, and then it became like just subpar, and now she has an even better one. And it's not any better than Leaf's sword is. Like, it works so good on her, and she's definitely the oldest unit I use. Apart from that, I guess I'll answer the question in a roundabout way. Instead of saying older units that I'm looking forward to revitalize, the unit type I'm looking forward to revitalizing the most is axes. And that's just because I want one on Caspar. I want him to have a good axe, because he has, like, there are some solid axes in the game, but I just want one with slaying, because I have to run slaying to get good godlike reflexes, and that's just a slaying axe, so it doesn't have any extra effects. I would be fine if they even were just like has slaying and speed +3, and then you could refine it for speed again. Like, I'd be like, yeah, sick, thanks. Like, that's how desperate I am for an arcane axe. I'd also love an arcane healing staff, because I think it would be cool to give a perf to healers who don't have access to any, like Lissa and Sakura and that crowd, like Gen 1 infantry healers. I don't have any built. Although I do have Forest, and he's probably not going to get a refine, so I would like to be able to give him an arcane staff as well. Next question is, what do you think... Oh, sorry, I didn't read who it was from. It's from Giratina Light, and they ask, what do you think of the book 6 story so far, and what do you think of Veronica's new design? Also, what do you think of Veronica as a character, and what is your opinion on her as a character? So I'm a mixed bag with Veronica, if I'm being honest. We'll answer the Veronica questions first. Her new design, slay. She, once again, Kazaki Yusuke knocking out of the park. Like, this man can do no wrong. He can design no bad characters except except Arthur Fire Emblem Fates. Don't at me. But her character, kind of iffy on. Kind of don't like this will they, won't they, Alphonse Veronica thing that they keep writing, because she's like literally 12, and it makes me very uncomfortable. Like, Alphonse is like 16, 17, but she is 12. Like, he is a minor, she is an infant. That is not okay. And we know that they eventually do get together in the future anyway, because that's Leaf and Thracia's whole storyline. At least in that timeline. But, you know, I would really prefer if Alphonse was different. There is some implications that Kiran canonically likes Alphonse too. I'm not going into that here, but there's evidence to suggest that Kiran, the summoner, canonically has feelings for Alphonse, which means that he could be at least bi or pan, because our summoners can be anything. So yeah, that's probably all the Veronica questions. And then as for the book 6 story, very good. Very good story. All of my favorite stories are the ones that actually revolve around, like, shit that matters, if I'm being honest. Like, the Fire and Ice Kingdom didn't matter. The fairies only kind of sort of mattered, and that was only with the reveal of Sharena and Peony. Neitherphilly, it didn't matter. Like, all of the stories are cohesive and they all tie together, but like when they are like in Asker, that's when I actually care, because that's the main shit. Everything else kind of feels like a paralogue, like a DLC paralogue. Like, we're going to visit Frozen and Moana in book 2, and we're going to visit Tinkerbell in book 4, and we're going to visit Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs in book 5. Like, I don't care. The stories are good, but I kind of like zone out a little bit and kind of just coast along and wait for them to be like, and now we're going back to Asker, and I'm like, yeah, that's my whole deal. So that's all of the YouTube questions. Now we'll go over to Twitter. So once again, I am simply reading these in the order that they are given to me, and I apologize if I read one and then I can't get screenshots of it, because I'm looking at Twitter on my other phone, which is not, it doesn't have Twitter on it, so I'm just looking at my browser, and I'm not logged into Twitter. So if you are muted or soft blocked on my account, I apologize, because I won't be able to get a screenshot of your question, but I'll answer it. I just won't have a screenshot for everyone to see your question. So I'm going to take another break to reset the recording, and then we'll answer the Twitter questions. And we're back. My barracks were like perfectly full, so I'm glad I stopped. They were at their maximum 500 out of 500. Okay, Twitter questions. First one is from @Usano-san, and they ask, which 5-star exclusive units would you prefer to demote to 3-star/4-star? Normal banners, seasonal banners, etc. Literally, I wish that they just did it more often. Like, I wish that they were just like at the beginning of the book. They were just like, okay, everyone that was focus, okay, the way that they have it, it's kind of like 6-month, 8-month basis. But I wish that they just changed it so that at the beginning of the book, they were just like, okay, everyone that was introduced in the last book is now a demote, and everyone that comes out. Actually, that wouldn't make sense because then when the new book comes out, the only 5-star focus, the only 5-star unit you would be able to get is literally focus units from from that book, which means you'd be able to only get 5 stars of that character on that first banner. We'll go back like 1 year, I think. So, for example, in book, let's say it's book 7, which is the next book. I'm gonna say, okay, book 7. So all characters introduced in book 6 stay as pity breakers. Everything else demoted. And also, anything from books 1 and 2, 4-star, 3-star regular rate. I'm sick of them locking everything. Like, does Grey really need to be locked behind 4-star special? No. He doesn't have anything. He's got what? Sword Valor? Give me a break. Next question comes from my friend Cece at... I don't actually know CC's at. Oh, that's literally their name. At Crimbo Combo, who asks, which character on this banner is the most water soluble, including Rickon and Cervantes? And I'm not going to answer that question because I'm dumb and I don't know what water soluble means. And I'm not looking it up. I'm sorry, CC. I am not looking it up. I answered bold. I replied to CC's tweet and I was like, bold of you to assume I know what water means, because I knew that when I got to this question I wouldn't have an answer. Next question is from Just a Closet Lol, like at Just a Closet Lol, and they ask, if you could add a tier 4 version of any skill, what would it be, what would its effects be, and why? I want them to add a tier 4 version of Shield Pulse, and I want it to ignore the cooldown count on defensive specials. So right now, Shield Pulse 3 at the start of turn 1 will put your defensive special cooldown count by 2. I want it to ignore that. I just want to say, at the start of turn 1, if unit has a special that is triggered by a foe's attack, so if unit has a defensive special, unit, like, it fully charges it no matter what cooldown it is. So, you know, if you're running like Aegis on a unit that doesn't have slaying, it gives you the whole 3 cooldown. That's the first thing I want, because that means that you don't need to run a slaying weapon on that unit. Damn, she is stalking me. Another Archer Hinoka, another Kinshi Hinoka. This girl cannot leave me alone. Girl, you need to leave. With your minus defense plus res, have an ass. The other effect I want it to have is to just increase the damage reduction. Like, they could make it like 8. I would really like if it was 10. But they could make it like 8. The main thing I want, though, is for them to remove the cooldown count minus 2. I want it to make it unlimited. That way I don't have to rely on having a slaying weapon on a unit to run a defensive special on them. Although they give so many to units these days that like, it probably doesn't even matter. But yeah, that's the one I want the most. And also a demote with it. That's a side grade, but there are no demotes with Shield Pulse. It's literally only on 3 units. It's on Saber, it's on Fjorm, and it's on Fire Tribe Lyn. And that's because they all have specials that use it. Or in Saber's case, he has an effect in his weapon that relies on having a charged special. Next question is from @Mika, that's me, and they ask, who do you want to see the most in an Ascended / Rearmed style, and what would you like on their kit? I am not going to answer this question because I have a video coming up soon that answers this question. All I will say is that it is an Ascended unit theory craft. But yeah, so I won't be answering this question here. You'll just have to wait for that to be finished. Next question is from Promise. You all know Promise. Promise me one thing here on YouTube. And Promise asks, with the 3 colorless orbs, I hope you're giving me luck, Promi. Promise asks, if you got to add one new character to Fae who isn't already in the game in any form, who would it be and why? And my answer to that is Dwyer, because I have so many people on Twitter who want him, and I want to manifest that for them. I don't really have feelings towards Dwyer in any way myself. You know, I am much more of a Felicia fan than a Nina now. I'm getting stalked by Fate's archers. I'm not really a fan of Dwyer. I'm more of a fan of Felicia than Jacob, so I tend to play as male Corrin, and even when I play as female Corrin, I kind of just bench Jacob, so he doesn't often get married, and then thusly produce Dwyer. Oh, we're gonna get Ascended Florina. This is not your banner, sweetie. Leave. But she's got good fodder, so it's fine. She's going in the fodder pile. So yeah, I would like them to add Dwyer. Not for me personally, but for everyone out there who's like, we want Dwyer. I'm like, yeah, me too. We've only got 2 questions left. But we've only got a couple orbs left, but that's okay because we'll be able to answer them as we go. So second to last question is from @Diana_SS27, and they ask, what kind of unit, color, weapon type, movement type, etc. would you like to be the next free hero that we are going to get in book 7? I would like them to be a dragon unit. And that is only because they have given so much shit to dragons that them being like, here is a free-to-play dragon, not only makes so much sense, but also allows for people to use all the shit that they've been giving to dragons. Although it would be a kick in the nuts if they were just like, here's a dragon with a DC weapon. And we were like, DC weapon? What do you mean DC weapon? What about the seal that you made? But I reckon it'll be a dragon. Or at the very least, I would like it to be. These are our last 2 summons, by the way. And for our last question from @Sky_FE15, who is your most wanted unit in the game? Super easy question. It's Caspar. I want Caspar in the game in any shape or form. We've already answered multiple times today what kind of Caspars I want. But I just want them to put him in the game more. 1 is not enough. I don't care if I have 4 of him. This is not enough. I need more. And I can't make any more +10 summer Caspars. I can't. Alright, so that's going to be it for our summon session. Let's quickly send home all of our 3 stars. And these 3 as well. Got some nice feathers. Turn these into manuals. And then for our summons, we got a -speed plus defense Ascended Air, a -HP plus attack August, a +HP minus defense Ascended Florina, a plus defense minus speed, not Ascended Robin, Rearmed Robin, a minus attack plus speed Kinshi Hinoka, a plus res minus defense Kinshi Hinoka, literally the opposites, like with the top 2 and the bottom 2. And then a -HP plus defense Nina. So let's get to doing some merging. So we're going to merge allies. I'm going to merge my new Grima into my old Grima. And she's going to get her rearmed power back. And she's also going to get rid of her res boon, which is great because it was a super boon apparently. And now we're going to inherit her save skill onto my Lucina, so that she can be fast. Very, very fast. Where is she? She should have summon support. So she's already got Hardy Fighter. And she's normally close save. Could give her distant defense 4, which I gave to Robin because this Robin is fast save. She should have the DC seal, and she does on my dark defense where she is, but I must have swapped it out sometime. You know, I know I have spare copies of it, so I will find. So distant. I know I have some units with it. Perfect. So we will. Yeah, look at these Rajats. What am I going to do with them? So we can give her this in defense 4, which she probably won't use unless they make like a DC seal for axe armors, which would be insane because hello, we don't need to hear what you have to say, but yeah, and then we'll give her distant defense 4 and we'll give her the speed near save. Oddly enough, I don't think I've ever talked about this on here, but maybe I did it during my Lucina summon session, but I was actually theory crafting a Valentine's Lucina in this exact outfit. She wasn't an axe, but she was a fast save unit, and she had attack speed near save. And I was so close. Like, they basically did everything except give her attack speed near save. I just had to wait, what, 8 months for it? But yeah, so that's that. I'm going to put a heart back on her so that she's not killed for whatever reason. She shouldn't be, but just in case. And now we'll quickly take a look at merging some other units. So I'll check if I've got a HINOKA merge going on. I don't. I just have 1 copy and then I've got 3 sitting here. So that's good. We'll turn the rest of them into combat manuals. I do need the attack speed bond fodder. Actually, the rest of them will also be combat manuals. Because I know I don't have any merge projects going for the other ones. Cool. So that's going to be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys got your questions answered. Feel free to leave questions on any other videos, but from now on I will be making, like I did for this one, I made just like a 2-minute video that was just like, put your questions down below. And that ended up working really well. I got quite a few questions on there, so I will be doing that from now on. But you can put questions on any video, and I will make sure to take note of them for the next available summon session. But apart from that, let me know if you guys did any more summoning for anyone who didn't comment before. I'm just going to quickly refill my stamina because I know I have to do some forging bonds later. So yeah, just, you know, continue to leave comments if you've got questions. If I don't have a summon video planned for a while, I might just answer it in the comment, but otherwise I'll save it. And until next time, bye guys!